Yo, I need DJ that. Yo, I need DJ KRAFT, you know. Damn, boss. I tell you, I immediately to a swear to God, but yes, artist, depend yourself. Damn, Ben's too quick.
Now, people, the video that you just saw is of dancehall artist KRAFT, very popular, up and coming, not established artist. He's having a buzz in the street, big time. People know him, people like him. He is getting a whole bunch of shows locally and overseas, so you can call it say him boss. Now, people, apparently he is driving through Halfway Tree. While he was driving through Halfway Tree, I guess he was stopped by the po-po. Don't know if when they stopped him initially, he decided that he was not going to stop. In the video, you could see the po-po block him off on some sorts of motorbike. First thing first, if you're going through Halfway Tree without the proper documentation, registration, fitness, insurance, especially the little tag upon the glass windshield, if that not right, you are more than likely going to get stopped, because it seems as if that is where the JSA puts most of its efforts in Jamaica. In other words, in all of Jamaica, that is probably the hottest place for pass through without proper documentation. So when we see in this video, and people, I showed you the edited version when he got pulled over, and then when people are say the artist bends to Chris, I am going to speak about that further on in the news. Whenever you see the po-po or reach in your vehicle and I try to turn off your car and I try to get the key out of your car, it tells you that you were not complying with the officer. It tells you that you were probably more than likely disobeying some sorts of order that was given to you by the po-po. Whether it was justified or not, I don't know. I was not there. So I say this to say that I don't know if he had his driver's license, the proper documentation, insurance, fitness, registration. His license is even valid. But what I do know, obviously, the po-po thought that he made some sorts of infraction. First thing first, if them pull you over and you decide say you're going to run, you're going to try to make a move, that is an infraction right there. You disobeyed order, so therefore that might be grounds for some sorts of search and eventually some sorts of arrests. So the po-po must have felt as if him violate them in some way. And people, first thing first, the people must say, boy, the artist bends too big. And of course, they are heaping all sorts of praise to the artist while he was in his little dilemma as it pertains to the po-po. People, first thing first, don't know if you are as observant as me, but I noticed that that vehicle has some sorts of blue plate, meaning dealer plates. As far as my limited knowledge is concerned pertaining to dealer plates, it is for the dealers. If they go pick up a car from off a wharf, or if they're probably showing potential buyers to make some sorts of test drive. If and when you buy a vehicle and that dealer is providing that vehicle, that dealer should not give you that vehicle with the dealer plate. So the fact that KRAFT is driving around in a vehicle with dealer plate, it tells you that something is definitely wrong. He should not have access. The fact that there was no other person in the vehicle, that means that nobody can say them did I give him some sorts of test drive. The fact that the officer was reaching in the vehicle and he was being obstructed by him, pretty much that is problem. That is probably grounds for arrest. Like me say, me don't know about the documentation, the paperwork. The fact that when the officer was holding on to him, whether it was justified or not, he was trying to arrest him. And then he was resisting arrest or resisting taking any sorts of talk. Again, me just say based on the video. The fact that the people that is there, that is boasting him up, that was pretty much on their knee blowing his gogozella because he's a popular artist. Not thinking about the situation and circumstance and people. This is my disclaimer before I proceed. Not to say that these officers are always right, because we know say when it comes to Alfred Tree, them dead upon some sorts of hustle tip, them harass certain sort of people. However, certain sort of people get obliged, specifically the taxis and the minibus that are operated by officers that are not registered, don't have the proper documentation. That is knowledge that anybody knows about. So I'm saying this, whenever these artists get stopped and the officer try arrest or try ask for the documentation and then you do not comply, compound with the people who boost you up, making a bad situation even worse. If there's one thing that we know about these officers in Jamaica, they are ultra sensitive and even worse. They are very vindictive. Whenever you don't comply and then you're trying to show them up and trying to diss them, it is only going to end up not in your best interest. So therefore, it seems as if the officers decided that they were going to take that short walk from the clock around the corner where the fire station is, on Agley Park Road, I think, to the Popo station and make him stay there for a couple and learn his lesson. Based on the information that I am getting, one of his friends actually drove off with the vehicle. So more than likely, it was more about KRAFT than the vehicle not having the proper documentation. Me not sure. Whatever the circumstances are, two wrongs will never make a right. And whenever you have your right and you argue with the popo or this the popo, show them up. You are automatically going to be leaving from right to wrong, regardless if you're right or not. Know that it is not right, however, that is the circumstance and the situation in a Jamaica. Point blank and period.
Hi, my name is Simone and good afternoon. Today we're introducing you to Aunt Glenna's rum and fruit cake. So we're at a cake tasting today and we have had some of the best tasting cake from Aunt Glenna's, and we want you to come closer and look how moist the cake is. Call her at WhatsApp at 876-456-0773 and order your cake now for birthdays, weddings, anniversaries, and you won't be disappointed.
Now people, the video that you just saw before this is of a cake that I have tasted many occasions lately. It is the bomb. Like you hear the lady say, Aunt Glenna's rum cake, fruit cake, black cake, wedding, Christmas cake, even when it's not Christmas. And people, what makes this cake different and make it a premium cake? Now people, when you talk about premium cake, you know, talk about no sorts of black box cake, no sorts of powder cake. May I talk about natural ingredients. Everything coming like a top chef and make it, so therefore you know say, and no sorts of cheap setting. The lady told you the number. WhatsApp. Leave a message. WhatsApp number. What is it? 1-876-456-0773. Call, make your order, because like me say, she works and sells cake for many hotels. She works and sells cake all over the place. Name brand-ish. Point blank and period. So the next thing that is popping in the news, call it public service announcement. You have been warned, take heed. If ever you have any sorts of family member, whether you live overseas or you live at Jamaica, and them tell you, say, you know, say, nothing go on, I want to buy a little car and run taxi, but me not have no money. Can you buy the vehicle? Me will drive, take mine out tight and give you yours. Run far away as possible. Do not entangle in that type of proposition. It is usually not going to work out unless, of course, isolated incident. You have some sorts of Christian family that is honest. So therefore, you stand a 99.99% chance of losing your vehicle, losing your money, and even losing your life. Do not make anybody give you any sort of Brother Nancy, Brother Tukuman story, sell you the world, give you all sorts of promise like them say, a promise is a comfort to a jackass. Such is the case. Condolences to the family of one Mr. Dave Cameron. He is from a place called Content Gardens that is close by the couples in a St. Anne's in a place called Exchange after you pass Exchange. So here's the deal as it pertains to Mr. Cameron. A little man link him and say, you know, say, I want to get a vehicle. I'm going to drive it as a cabbie and give you yours and take mine. So therefore, mutually beneficial. Mr. Cameron, not knowing, thinking this man was honest, legitimate, said, all right, I'm going to help out a situation, keep a youth off of the street out of trouble. It is said that this man had the vehicle for the longest time. However, whenever Mr. Cameron was to get his money, the man would give him pure BS story. No sorts of cash. Mr. Cameron realized that instead of making money, he would lose money because whenever this man went on the street, pick up the passenger and the road, the potholes, lick out the front end, Mr. Cameron would pay, but Mr. Cameron was not the recipient of any sorts of beneficiary of the taxi driving ish. So based on information, it is said that Mr. Cameron told the man to bring back the vehicle. Since it is not working out, you're not making any sorts of money, and it is costing me, it is a lose-lose proposition. Just bring back the car. They made arrangement and they were supposed to meet at a specific area. When Mr. Cameron saw the man was in a different vehicle other than the vehicle that he was supposed to return. Even worse, he had a couple other people with him. Based on the information, it is said that these other persons that were with this man put on some pelting, some lick, some CHOP per Mr. Cameron, took him out and fling him in the bushes. All because of his own car. So Mr. Cameron lost his money investing with somebody that he thought was honest. And even worse, he lost his life in a very terrible way. People like me say, the moral of the story is this. Sorry for Marga dog and them turn around and bite you. Such is the case in this case. Point blank and period. The next thing that is popping in the news and continuing on the theme of taxi. Me don't know if taxi salt or them jinx or what, but it seems as if it's nothing but bad news when it comes to taxi in all aspects. I am speaking about a situation in which a man lost his life. His name is Mr. Gavin Lewis. He's a cabbie. He's from Guys Hill, that is in St. Catherine. Based on the information, it is said that Mr. Lewis was in the Linstead area, driving along King Street. He had 4 passengers in the vehicle, including himself, so therefore that make it 5 or so. It is said that upon reaching the intersection of King Street, one of the passengers said, "One stop driver." Mr. Lewis complied, let out the man. It is said that when that man went out or exit the vehicle, him wheel and pop off. starts spray the vehicle. Most of the corn intended for the target, Mr. Lewis. 3 other persons, so people do the maths. Everybody in the vehicle get wet up. Mr. Lewis get it the Wassara. He pretty much DIED on the spot. The other 3 passengers were taken to the Linstead Hospital where they are treated. Don't know the status or condition as we speak. So people, what this tells you, these gunmen in Jamaica, they are cold and callous. This is obviously some sort of hit, I am assuming that is. Whenever them come for the intended target, one person, however, everybody get hit up. So therefore, it tells you that there are some sorts of PUNK, are just bad SHOOTERS. Because if him did bad and brave like he think he is, he wouldn't just go to the target, con up the target and take for himself. However, he had no problem in blazing up everybody in the vehicle that were just at the wrong place at the wrong time. Now people, me no know, me just say it sounds like a targeted hit. Me no know if the Klansman them, because the power put on pressure on them, don't have any source of evidence to substantiate the claims in this case. But me just say something look fishy. Even worse, these people, they are brazen. These people, they do not give a FUCK if innocent people get caught up or even DEAD. They have one objective in mind, and if anybody else get it, call it casualty of WAR or badness. Call it collateral damages, point blank and period. So the next thing that is popping in the news, I made a contact with my link in a law enforcement, and the conversation was about the man from Spanish Town that got taken out, termites. So I asked the question, let me ask you this. How am I going to take him out? And pretty much the answer was a simple one. Because we gave him a whole bunch of warnings and he did not take heed. He claimed that he is not or was not doing anything a lie people tell upon him. Obviously, the people did not believe that because they had information separate and apart from the warning and the heed that he did not take. What is even worse, based on the fact that him get married, based on the fact that he was deported from Panama, and he came back to Jamaica, they said that they realized that he was making move to run away, exit stage left, exit Jamaica, run across the border like Taco Bell. They were not going to have that based on the fact that most of the people that are dons that do the same thing, when them reach there, before them decide to change them life, no, them start get all sorts of DRUGS money, all sorts of tech money, so therefore them start get stronger, and then them start finance the other little FUCKERS that are here in a Jamaica, that is. They said that they were not going to make that happen. They have learned from their mistakes in the past. Whenever you get them good, get them out of here, is the gist of the story. I also asked, so who else is next on the DEAD man's list? I was told you already know. You're a smart man. You know who is next. I said, are the same people them go for? No, we made after him after that. However, him take for himself. I said, don't say 40, don't say a next word, point blank and period. So anyways, people, thanks once again for checking out my video. If you appreciate videos like these, please show your appreciation by liking, commenting, sharing and subscribing to my channel. That is how YouTube promotes videos like these to like-minded, sensible persons like yourself. And last but not least, please subscribe to my next channel. It is called Jamaica Dancehall Source. I'll be pinning the link to that channel in the description of this video. Bless up.